Now.
Welcome to Newswatch 12 at 10. I'm Justin Benny. A lack of affordable housing is a big issue in many places these days. And the city of Rhinelander just unveiled the results of a nearly year-long housing assessment trying to find ways to help. Newswatch 12's Kyle Pozorski has details.
The city of Rhinelander held an open house Thursday to discuss the housing needs assessment report that has been in the works for several months.
The housing needs assessment that the city just concluded was in partnership with MSA Professional Services, who took a study and a look at the market and the outstanding needs for housing in the Rhinelander area.
Administrator Rink said the partnership between the city, MSA, and the state was crucial in finding information for what the city was looking for when it comes to housing.
The project was underwritten in part by a state grant, where 50% of the project was funded by the state. So we're really pleased to have worked in partnership both with the state and with MSA to perform a very large and thorough housing needs assessment.
Becky Benz from MSA Professional Services presented their findings Thursday evening and was impressed with the city of Rhinelander's enthusiasm towards finding solutions.
It sounds like the city is ready to go, so one of the biggest recommendations we have is the city create a housing committee to start implementing some of the recommendations and just keep the conversation going after the housing study, and the city seems on board and excited to do that.
She says creating senior housing within the city is a large part of the report findings to provide new housing for senior citizens.
And that's also going to free up some of the city's existing housing stock. Usually homes that seniors are living in, it's really great for first-time home buyers, so that's going to have kind of a double benefit.
City officials hope that the conversation around housing will continue on into the future. In Rhinelander, Kyle Pozorski, Newswatch 12.
All right, outside, Jeff, the weekend is here. We're gearing up for a little bit of a short-term warm-up.
Yeah, the holiday weekend's here. Tomorrow, high temperatures back up in the mid-50s for one day only, and then the bottom's going to fall out. And we have much colder temperatures on the way for much of next week. But today, though, highs near 50 to in the 50s across the area. We'll do it again tomorrow. Outside now, though, it's 45 in Rhinelander, 44 in Tomahawk, 47 for Merrill. So, yeah, we're falling pretty quickly now, but we'll get some clear skies to the west. See where it's clear to the west right now. The colder temperatures are there. That is going to slowly move in our direction for tonight into tomorrow. So the big system is pulling out of here. It's taking the moisture and the clouds with it. It's taken all night to do so. It'll likely continue into early parts of tomorrow morning, but the whole thing is getting out of here. It'll make some national news tomorrow, though, with a big East Coast storm. For us, though, we'll bring back some sunshine through the afternoon. Our forecast tonight, then, is mostly cloudy skies to decreasing clouds late, with low temperatures down near 37. Your full forecast is coming up. Justin?
All right, thank you, Jeff. Today, the Food and Drug Administration has now officially approved Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine for children aged 5 to 11. This comes after its advisory committee did the same earlier this week. The CDC is expected to make a similar decision next week. If they also approve it, then 5 to 11-year-old kids could start getting shots soon. The number of new COVID-19 cases in Wisconsin has been holding steady over the last few days. Today, the State Department of Health Services reports about 2,200 new confirmed cases, keeping our daily average for the last week right around 1,800. The number of new COVID-19 deaths has been more up and down lately, as you see. Today, DHS reports 8 new deaths. We're averaging about 14 per day over the last week. Tonight, a group marched to the streets of Lac du Flambeau to raise awareness to issues surrounding substance abuse, adding the solution starts at home.
People that are all over at grandma's house, or people all over that their aunties or their uncles, and they see something going on, instead of remaining quiet, we speak up and we march and we rally together. And the best way to do that is to support each other through a rally.
He says many people believe drugs are just a reservation problem. That's not the case. He sees it's often outside communities bringing the drugs onto the reservation. He hopes today's march shows the side of LDF in a better light, a side that many people don't get a chance to see. The trial of Kyle Rittenhouse begins Monday in Kenosha with jury selection. The Illinois teen is accused of killing 2 people and injuring a third during protests in August of last year. Stephanie Haynes shows us what to expect.
If you plan to watch the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, here are some of the key players. Defense attorneys Mark Richards and Corey Sharafazi.
When we have the self-defense on tape, we have the case on tape.
On the state side, prosecutors James Krause and Thomas Binger.
The question is, what was his state of mind and whether or not his actions were reasonable.
All of the lawyers are very experienced and talented.
Patrick Cafferty is a local criminal defense attorney who will serve as TMJ4's legal analyst during the Rittenhouse trial. The judge in this case is Judge Bruce Schrader. He has been on the bench in Kenosha County since 1983.
I maybe have tried more murder cases than anyone in the state.
Judge Schrader has heard high-profile cases before, including the case of Mark Jensen, a Kenosha County man previously convicted of killing his wife in 1998. The judge made national headlines this week for the word he won't let attorneys use when referring to the men Rittenhouse is accused of shooting.
He most definitely said you can't use the term victim, and that is consistent with my observation of him in just about every single case I've ever tried. As far as his rulings on the rioters, looters, that kind of language, he didn't say, I'm going to allow the defense to call them that. What he said was basically, let's hear the evidence. And if the evidence is going to support that kind of vocabulary, then sure, they'll be allowed to do that during the course of their closing arguments.
Jury selection begins Monday.
Stephanie Haynes reporting. President Biden is in Europe tonight. We'll show you how he is preparing to sell his message of fighting climate change in just a few minutes. But first, Jeff's in with your full weekend forecast after the break.
This portion of News Watch 12 is brought to you by Mix 96.5. News Watch 12's Justin Betty and meteorologist Jeff Weller bring you the news and weather of the North Woods. Alongside the News Watch 12 team, they are committed to the community and ensuring that you are as informed as possible. The News Watch 12 team works hard to deliver the most important stories from around the globe, local and national sports updates, and weather reports. Watch Justin and Jeff weeknights at 5, 6, and 10 on WJFW NBC 12.
Jim, Maria, and Jameson Brickner from Brickners Park City, Jeep Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram in Merrill invite you to check out our just completed, fully remodeled dealership. We are now Wagoneer ready. Brickners in Merrill has been your Jeep destination for the last 33 years. Thank you for your business, and if you're looking for a customer-first dealership to service your vehicle, we have 9 highly trained certified technicians ready to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape. Brickners Park City, Jeep Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram in Merrill, 1-800-499-JEEP, or on the web at bricknersparkcity.net.
Spectrum Mobile is reinventing wireless again. Introducing the best deal in mobile. Unlimited on 2 or more lines for just $29.99 a line. All on a nationwide 5G network that provides the best overall experience and reliability. Call 844-677-2999.
Unlimited for $29.99. This offer's going to take off.
We changed the rules when we introduced mobile with no contracts, no added taxes, and no hidden fees. And now we're doing it again, making it easier to get unlimited for less with our best deal ever. Get unlimited from Spectrum Mobile for just $29.99.
That's amazing.
It's the best deal in mobile.
Join the millions who've switched and get the best deal in mobile. Unlimited talk, text, and data with nationwide 5G included for just $29.99 and save up to 60%. Call 844-677-2999. Click SpectrumMobile.com or visit a store near you.
Let's start here. A coronal mass ejection happened yesterday. Basically, the sun passed some gas, and that energy will get to Earth tomorrow evening, which could give us scenes like this across northern Wisconsin. It's a KP value of 3 out of 5, so it could happen. Good viewing tomorrow away from light. Look north-northwest tomorrow evening. Hopefully we'll keep the clouds away as well. But here we go. It's a holiday weekend, right? We have lots of the crazies are out this weekend, of course, with Halloween being on Sunday. The weather looks pretty good. However, it's going to drop pretty quickly temperature-wise, especially on Sunday afternoon. All right, here we go. So out there today, we had highs basically in the 50s. Right now, though, there's some cool temperatures to our west. That's because there's lots of clear skies in here. That's radiational cooling. But behind that, there's some warmer temperatures, and those are going to make a run for us tomorrow for one day only and probably for a few hours in the afternoon as we have somewhat warmer temperatures on the way. So then the cold front comes through late tomorrow night, more likely early on Sunday morning, and we're going to drop temperatures throughout the day on Sunday and then hold them, are you ready for this, in the 30s Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, into Thursday, it's going to feel a lot more like winter next week. Out there today, though, we had lots of drizzle and some clouds and some drizzle and some clouds and press repeat pretty much all day long. There is a big system over here to the east of us. This thing will make national news this weekend as it blows up across the East Coast, giving them lots of wind and rain again. The second storm there, I was in Boston on Tuesday, got stuck with that. They're getting more wind and rain. For us, though, not so much. We have a drying out trend on the way, taking us into the weekend and beyond. For tonight, though, cloudy skies, less windy, low temperatures down near 37 with a northeast breeze around 5 to 10. For tomorrow, it's Saturday, partly cloudy skies to mostly cloudy skies early. High temperatures back up in the mid-50s. That's temporary with a west wind around 5. And then looking ahead, your 7-day forecast by Northwest Furniture and Mattress shows a long dry stretch unfolding again. There's Halloween, 45 falling through the afternoon, and those are high temperatures in the 30s Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Justin.
Thank you, Jeff. Today, President Biden met the Pope on day one of his trip to Europe ahead of the G20 summit. One of the big topics expected to be discussed is climate change. Isabel Rosales has details.
President Joe Biden arriving in Europe, still without a done deal on the $1.75 trillion economic package that underpins his domestic agenda. But the White House remains hopeful.
We're going to get it done, and the president is pushing it forward.
The plan as it stands includes $555 billion for climate programs, including clean energy tax credits, the creation of a civilian climate corps, and boosted investments in manufacturing, solar, wind turbines, and batteries in the U.S.
We're going to have the biggest investment in climate ever.
The timing is critical. The administration hoping action in Washington will boost U.S. credibility on climate on the global stage as Biden joins leaders from around the world for COP26, the much anticipated United Nations Climate Change Conference.
Well, the president's goal is to make sure that we go to Glasgow holding our head up high. We're going to provide the kind of national leadership that other countries expect.
The annual event in the spotlight after a year of deadly fires, droughts, and storms has left little doubt that climate change is happening now and leaving no part of the earth untouched.
We are seeing all over the world some very scary, intense weather patterns and climate patterns that could affect our global economies.
The goal of the conference, to recommit to the 2015 Paris Agreement and address new targets amid an accelerating crisis. Scott Sklar, an expert in sustainability and energy, says the U.S. needs to take the lead for the world to meet those goals.
And I expect we'll have a lot of willing major industrial leaders, countries, joining this club. And if we're tepid, they'll be tepid.
The expectations for further action are high, while the ability to reach consensus is still uncertain.
It's an emotional game and a political game, and but the results of this game are very important to the quality of our global life together.
The hope that new climate action at home and abroad isn't too little, too late. In Washington, Isabel Rosales.
Newswatch 12 viewers always call in with some very interesting thoughts and opinions. We'll hear some of those thoughts and concerns on tonight's edition of My 2 Cents after the break.
You got her?
I got her.
I'm getting us McDonald's.
Enjoy a sausage McMuffin with egg or a sausage burrito and pair it with a $1 any size Coke.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Did you know that working with a professional realtor yields a 10% higher sales price than selling on your own? It can often be even higher. Professional realtors have vast resources to market your home, guaranteeing reach to the maximum number of potential buyers. Ready to sell? Visit upnorthmls.com to find a Northwoods realtor ready to serve you.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we built the SUV of the future for everyone. Ford Explorer, America's best-selling SUV, with available seating for up to 7 passengers. An available terrain management system. Because the SUV of the future isn't built for a few. It's built for America. Ford Explorer. Drive one today. Now lease an Explorer XLT for just $389 a month, only at your Wisconsin and UP Ford dealers.
Roofing season is here, and Bear Renovations is the Northwood's #1 choice in roofing and rain gutter systems. Whether it's shingle roofing or metal roofing, big or small, the Bear does it all. Stop by our showroom just north of Tomahawk on County Road A or call 715-966-6649 today. Remember, you can like us on Facebook, but you'll love us on your roof. Bear Renovations is locally owned and operated. Call the Bear.
Hi, this is Jenny, the manager of your local Big Deal store. Visit our store and save money while supporting local businesses. Go to AnagoBigDeals.com. That's AnagoBigDeals.com.
Strong day on Wall Street. The Dow rose 89 points to finish at another all-time high, about 35,820. The Nasdaq and S&P 500 also hit new records today. We actually had multiple calls on our 2 cents line this week talking about how I read the nightly stock numbers. Seriously, take a listen.
Yeah, I was wondering, when he talks about the big culvert numbers, like 35,657, how come he always goes 35,667? Like he doesn't know how to put numbers in a category. It's like he doesn't know how to say math.
When you give numbers for COVID, it's either 13,605 or you can say 605. It don't matter how you do it. The numbers are the same no matter how you say it.
The first caller has a little point. If you want to be proper, I should pronounce stock numbers, and I'm assuming she means mostly stock numbers, 35,613. Sometimes I spell out the numbers because I think it might be easier to understand. The next caller is about our 2 cents phone itself.
And I'm a lifetime resident and have been watching your news for 46 years now and counting. And it's mostly enjoyable and informative, but could you do me one favor? Could you please have somebody clean the phone in the counter where you have the My 2 Cents or Your 2 Cents segment? There's hair all over, and, well, it just needs a good cleaning. Thanks.
Good point. I will mention, as I have before, the 2 cents phone's in a small room we don't use for much besides letting it ring and having voicemails. It's not my desk where my computer is. So while most of the newsroom gets both cleaned and disinfected pretty regularly, the 2 cents phone can sometimes get forgotten. But we'll do a better job keeping it clean. In fact, it was already cleaned this evening. Thank you for calling. Remember, if you want to make your voice heard on your 2 cents, give us a call at 715-365-8812, extension 319. The Friday Night Blitz is next here on Newswatch 12 at 10. But first, Chris Baranek has this week's Big Old Fish.
Newswatch 12's Big Old Fish is brought to you by Kurt's Island Sports Shop in Minocqua.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
Okay, I got a question for you. What is a pirate's favorite fish? Yar, it'd be a swordfish. You know what? I'll just stop here and move on with this week's Big Old Fish. Now, before we start this week's Big Old Fish, I just thought I'd share a picture of myself with a big old fish from, well, I'll just say decades ago. I was a young boy on the right there in the photo, and that was a 10-pound, 34-inch northern that I caught and won a fishing tournament with. Way to go, Chris. That's one big old fish. Anyway, moving on with this week's Big Old Fish, we start off with Brad Noir from Riverside, Illinois. Now, back in July of this year, he was fishing on Lake Tomahawk with night crawlers, and shortly after lunch, he caught and released this rock bass. Brad says it might not necessarily be a big old fish, but it was still a fun one to catch, as it had been quite a while since he had hooked his last one. I'll tell you what, Bradley, you just keep at it and keep on reeling them in. All right, next up on this week's Big Old Fish, we have Chad Rosinski from Conover. Now, he was fishing a tournament with his wife, Cheryl, and he heard a loud splash behind the boat, so he decided to take a cast back in its direction. And then he had the fish follow his bait to the boat. He did about a half of a turn and a figure eight, and the fish smashed the lure. He went ahead and set the hook, and his wife had the net ready immediately, and they bagged this 46 1/4 inch monster. Not only that, they won the tournament that they were in, which was the first tournament that they have entered together. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Husband and wife team winning a fishing tournament with a big old fish. Heck yeah, keep on reeling them in, Chad. And finally, in this week's Big Old Fish, we have Dan Berryman from Eagle River. Now, Dan was on a fishing outing for the Wounded Warriors with Muskie Bob Jacobs when he got this beautiful fish. And he was also lucky enough to catch the largest muskie caught over the 2 days that they were fishing together. First off, thank you, Dan, for your service, and way to go. That is one big old fish. Keep on reeling them in. All right, fishermen and women, make sure to keep those trophy pictures coming. All the information you need to be in a future episode of Big Old Fish and win a Norling Taxidermy fish mount is on our website, WJFW.com. And remember, anglers, fish on.
This portion of Newswatch 12 is brought to you by Builders Service Incorporated, Elko.
Guess who's making a splash? Pure of Denord, of course. We make installing your dock easy enough for just one person, and you don't even have to get wet. With our Pures, there's less maintenance, no rust, and no fuss, because we're factory direct. Made in St. Germain, come and visit us.
Sweetwater Spirits and Resort is open throughout the year. Dine in with a great view of Duck Lake. Carryout is also available. Enjoy roasted chicken, shrimp, burgers, pizza, Friday night fish fry, and Saturday night prime rib. Great happy hour deals Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 and live music on the weekends. Sweetwater Spirits and Resort is family friendly and opens at 11 a.m. daily. Find us on Facebook to view nightly specials.
America has always been the land of opportunity, but not all opportunities turn out the way you hoped. Maybe, like a lot of people, you've been hit by credit card bills, a divorce, or you lost your job. Now the feeling of debt is overwhelming. But this is a country where everyone deserves a second chance. We're the providers of Care One Debt Relief Services, created by Bernie Dansell on this very idea of second chances. Over 20 years ago, he had his own battle with debt, which motivated him to start Care One, the nation's largest brand of debt relief services. He wanted to help good people move forward in their lives with dignity and respect. Call our certified credit counselors for your free personalized plan. We help you consolidate your unsecured debt into one affordable monthly payment. It's not a loan, it's not bankruptcy, it's a fresh start. Yours. Call us today or visit careonetoday.com. Care One, we're in the business of second chances.
The kitchen remodel project was a major project. After checking around, we went to Featherstone, and we were so glad we did. There was electrical work, plumbing, enlarging a doorway, and of course, all the cabinets, countertops, and fixtures. The minute I walked in the door at Featherstone, I knew I was in the right place. Featherstone coordinated every aspect of the project, the whole thing. They made it easy. And I can't say enough about how much we appreciated the personal attention Featherstone gave us.
What's the perfect way to spend a summer afternoon at your lake home? On a pier made by Pure of Denord. We're making a splash with time-saving piers because you deserve more ways to play and enjoy summer days. Made in St. Germain, come and visit us.
Friday Night Blitz is brought to you by Featherstone Cabinetry, Harns Furniture, and Sweetwater Spirits and Resorts. Your Blitz starts now.
Round 2 of the high school football playoffs, and you may notice I'm all by myself. Well, Griffin missed a wide open layup in a pickup basketball game today, so he needed to take the night off. I'm kidding. Not about the missed layup, but Griffin was putting in the work. He was up near the border as Edgar faced Hurley. The Wildcats hoping for some revenge. They lost their first matchup 22-20. And in the first quarter, the North Stars couldn't ask for a better start. Stopping Edgar and then taking the ball down the field. Max Blamey punching it in from a couple yards out. That gives them an early lead. And then in the second, it's just more of the same. North Stars giving it to Blamey once again. From short distance, he is in. They have a 14-point lead. And Edgar needed points before the half, and with 2 minutes left in the quarter, Madison Butt put together a drive, hooking up with Everett Brame from 19 yards out for a touchdown. Just like that, it's a 14-8 ball game. Now in the third quarter, 4th and 2 for Hurley. And it looks like Tony Cummings is going to be stopped short, but keeping those legs churning, and he is gone. 48 yards to the house. North Stars lead by 14 again, but like we saw before, the Wildcats would not go quietly into the night, as Edgar would come right back, but with a great pass here to Ashton Shuett down the sideline. That's a gain of 36 yards, and just a few plays later, Carter Butt is going to get into the end zone. Wildcats down 6 after the 2-point conversion. And Hurley had a chance to ice things in the fourth at the 2-yard line, handing it off to Blamey, but he coughs it up and Edgar recovers. They have life with a little over 2 minutes left. But on first down, Butt is going to look deep like he has been doing all night, and he would be intercepted by Derek Ransanisi. That would do it. Hurley moving on. They win this game 22-16, and they will host Coleman next Friday. Whew. What a game in Division 7, but now we're going to take a step up to Division 6. There's just a little over 3 miles that separates Colby and Abbotsford high schools, but a potential trip over 170 miles to Camp Randall was on the line. Colby led 14-0 in the second quarter, but the defense putting the clamps on. Abbotsford pitching outside, but that Hornet defense closing the edge. They force a Falcon punt. And a few plays later, I found out that Brent Jeski's favorite Migos song is Slippery. Look at him evading the defense, using his legs to take it inside the Abbey 10. And I also learned that Mateo Lopez loves that Mac Miller song, The Spins. Look at him hitting the circle button to find the end zone. The Hornets march on with a 48-8 win. They'll face Auburndale next week. And we'll finish up our highlights. A D5 showdown between St. Croix Fall and Stratford. Look at the boys getting fired up. I almost wish I could get out there, strap the pads on once again. Tigers looked great from the start as they forced the Saints into a passing down, and that's exactly what they did. But check out Noah Barrett stonewalling this drive outside of the 30. The Tigers get the ball and looking for some blood. And on their very first play from scrimmage, Rafe Smart taking the handoff on that trap play, getting the edge, making guys look foolish. He's got the defense on ice skates. 51 yards to the house. A promising start for Stratford, but St. Croix Fall would complete the upset. They dropped the Tigers by a final of 19-14. In Division 2, GNC champion Mosinee hosted Baraboo, and like last week, the T-Birds end a GNC bid for a state title. Mosinee falls 35-28. And then in D5, Amherst, they're staying undefeated. The Falcons dropped Kewanee by a final of 28-21. And lastly, the Wittenberg-Burnhamwood Chargers will move on. They beat Brillion by a final score of 27-18. That sets up a round 3 clash between the Falcons and Chargers. You won't see Matt Ryan or Justin Herbert, but it'll be an awesome game next week. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, though. Tomorrow will be jam-packed with some major high school playoff action. In boys soccer, Mosinee will head to Rice Lake. They knocked off Lakeland Union last night. They are now 1 win away from a state appearance, and they'll be joined by their girls volleyball team. Mosinee will face Luxembourg Casco in their sectional final. And in Division 4, Leona Wabeno and Columbus Catholic will meet up. The winner of that one advancing to state. And also we have the state cross country meet in Wisconsin Rapids. So we'll have a very busy day tomorrow, and we'll recap those events tomorrow night. But in the meantime, we'll have a final look at the forecast after the break.
What does expert HVAC installation look like to you? Having a perfect reading nook on a humid day? A place to enjoy the view on a cold winter day? With a carrier system installed by Dahlquist, your home will be comfortable from room to room. Plus, you'll be getting expert installation of a system brought to you by the people who invented modern air conditioning. Contact Dahlquist today for your carrier. Turn to the experts.
Prevention is important. In times of outbreak, whenever you leave and return home, help protect yourself and others from bacteria and viruses by following these steps. Leave home only for essential needs, such as groceries or emergency medical care, or as authorized by local regulations. When you go out, wear a face mask and disposable gloves. In public areas, maintain a minimum social distance of 6 feet between you and other people. Before re-entering your home, do the following. Take your shoes off and leave them outside. If you have to bring shoes inside, spray them with disinfectant. Then, remove your mask and disposable gloves. With a fresh pair of gloves, disinfect any items you may have used, such as keys, credit cards, a cell phone, or a wallet. When you're done, discard those gloves. And finally, wash your hands thoroughly with soap and hot water. Learn the basic guidelines to prevent the spread of illness and help your friends and family stay well. Download the free booklet at scientology.org/staywell. An ounce of prevention is worth a ton of cure.
This is Ford Truck Month. Time to take a ride in the all-new 2021 Ford F-150 with an available 12-inch touchscreen, an available interior work surface, and for powerful performance on demand, a class-exclusive available Pro-Power onboard mobile generator. These are America's best-selling trucks. This is Ford Truck Month. Inventory levels are coming back up, making Truck Month the time to get an F-150 with 0 for 72 and 1,000 retail order bonus.
For this time of year, wound up being a pretty nice night for high school football.
Very nice night for football, right? It was nice out there. A little drizzle at times, not a big deal.
Not too much.
Tomorrow night, though, I mentioned Northern Lights possibly tomorrow night. Getting lots of emails about that. So look north-northwest away from City Lights. Good chance possibly a 3 out of 5 on the KP scale with that tomorrow evening. Not tonight, but tomorrow evening. All right, so here we are. Temperature-wise, cooler air to the west of us now. That is where the skies have cleared out. That will stay there basically tonight. We'll have low temperatures down near 40, but tomorrow rebound nicely. In fact, check out this one day of relative warmth. That's tomorrow, 56 through the afternoon. Halloween 45 for all trick-or-treaters, falling through the afternoon, and then colder next week.
Calendar turns to November. Mother Nature's turning on the air conditioning a bit. It's a little chilly out there. Thanks, guys. Thank you for joining us on News Watch 12 at 10. Have a great night and a great weekend.